welcome back to the four most exciting letters in quarantine. It's the NFQL as Buffalo has a huge matchup this week heading to Buffalo South to take on the Carolina Panthers. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maniac from Trainwreck Sports, joined by this time Chris Holbert of Gratwick Gaming and Gratwick Productions. Shout out Chris. Chris, how's it going?
It's going good. This is a great opportunity to scout out some future Buffalo Bills.
No doubt. We are winding down this 2021 season, obviously taking a look at the long-term roster, as well as getting ready for this playoff round. And folks, this game almost underway. Go ahead and comment who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown. Chance to win a $25 gift card courtesy of Gratwick Gaming and Trainwreck Sports to your favorite local restaurant. And we are just about underway. Buffalo, Carolina Panthers. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody out there. We hope you're having a good one. How's yours been going so far, Chris?
It's going pretty good. Right now, sipping on a little SoCo and Pepsi. Getting my Sunday night started.
Not a bad start to Sunday night at all. Looking to get it started with a dub here.
I'm ready to lock up home field advantage and take these last two games off. We've got some guys that need to rest. We got to get Singletary and Moss back. It's time to put the regular season to bed and start looking towards a home field run.
No doubt about it. Home field, just one win away as well as a Browns loss. Folks, shout out to everyone that tuned into the Gratwick Gaming game night last night. It went great. The escape room out of 1408 was an awesome time. Reach out to Gratwick if you want us to run a custom escape room or murder mystery for you and your quarantine crew. We got Beasley back this week on a full-time basis, Chris, but Schwartz actually moved ahead of him. Moss and Singletary still out for the playoffs, as we are still out till the playoffs, and we are underway here in Carolina.
Yeah, you just can't keep Schwartz's speed off the field. The guy made plays every which way.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He was a constant weapon when he was out there. No reason to get rid of him just because Beasley's feeling better.
Clifford Nickpon is asking us who's injured. Moss and Singletary are still out, and as you guys see the new overlay there, we're going to try and have the injury report right there under the Gratwick logo in the upper left-hand corner of the screen for you.
Yep, as you can say, Gratwick and the back production truck making it so we get all the details on the sim. As you see, Singletary and Moss out. Bill's now getting Edwardson as well as Gallman. We are underway here in Carolina. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Carolina Panthers.
Go ahead and share the stream, tag your favorite friend, and you'll be entered into the third quarter sock drive. What we're doing from now on with the sock drive is anyone that shares the stream and tags a friend is automatically entered into every sock drive that is held throughout the game.
And a huge shout out to everyone tuning in across all social media. We do have a number of local businesses and everything reaching out. They want to reach out to you, so shout out to everyone tuning in. This NFQL is going to continue to evolve and continue to grow. Thank you, Matthew Manzella, sharing it along. Rob Rowland says Beasley with that first TD, Chris.
Beasley's a dark horse. He's got the second slot position when they're in 4 wide receiver sets, so you're going to have to look for from somewhere between the 10 and 15 yard line for a Beasley touchdown.
Throwing it left complete and another first down for the Carolina Panthers. They're off to a good start on this drive to start this game.
I want to see Gallman Jr. get a little street free agent touchdown.
Yeah, see him get loose for a big play. The Bills' offense is overdue for that. Speaking of overdue, don't get rid of the ball. You'll get sacked against this defense. The aggressive DBs get in and bring down the Carolina quarterback.
So, Zach, how you been spending your Memorial Day so far?
Mine was good. I'm enjoying this I was taking in a little bit of the Woods-Mickelson match, obviously. Woods and Manning have been in control. They've been 2 up for about an hour and a half, so not much change in there. Some great trash talk that's well overdue in live sports, but besides that, went hiking at a local park and just took my dog out. Now he's sleeping on the floor, so it's a great Memorial Day weekend so far.
Uh-oh. Is that McCaffrey?
So far.
Whew, you ain't catching that boy.
I mean, where was the defense on that play? He ran right on 2nd and 16, and there was nobody there.
Tom Dinner, John Brown is still on the team, but his contract is expiring in this offseason. We just posted right before kickoff a re-sign report. So if you guys are looking to put your 2 cents in on who we should keep and who we should re-sign in this offseason, just go ahead and fill out the survey that we've got on all of our different platforms.
Justin Cern says, so this is just copying Coach Doug's, right? I mean,
who the hell's
not
Coach?
Really at all.
Who's Coach Doug's?
Coach Doug's is the juggernaut. The juggernaut over at Tennessee football, courtesy of Barstool Big Cat. But no, we run a simulation that we could just all enjoy, Justin Cern. So thanks for tuning in. We got Andy Allen saying it's going to be Allen. He's saying it's going to be Allen or Singletary. You got to lock in one guess, folks.
Well, it's got to be Allen because Singletary's out. So that makes that nice and easy.
That does. When you guess an injured player, that does make the guess a little easier on us.
And
Make sure you're commenting, folks. Who you think is going to score that first Bills touchdown? You could win a $25 gift card.
am I old because I don't know who Coach Doug is?
No, you're not old, but I mean he's out there. He's a juggernaut. You gotta do your Coach Doug's research.
Do you follow Coach Kelly at all?
No, I don't believe so.
Coach Kelly is a high school coach that runs like the most advanced offense and statistics in all of football at any level. They never punt. They always go for it regardless of the circumstances. They always onside kick. They never do a full kickoff. And they just started a reality show. I don't know what the channel is, but the episodes have been being posted on Twitter. And they've got a reality show from last season following. It's a lot like the HBO specials, except it goes through the whole season instead of just training camp. And it's great stuff. The guy's at the forefront of offensive thinking in football.
You don't hate it. No, Coach Doug's is more of a joke thing, to be honest. But it's been very entertaining and it's taken the nation by storm. One of the top shows on Twitch. The Bills need a person here on 3rd down, play action. Allen throwing right. He's got a man, and we are across midfield, Chris.
Is that also kind of like the 3-year Letterman? Is that a similar?
It's definitely much closer to the 3-year Letterman than your Coach Kelly. For sure.
I'm gonna have to get me some Coach Doug's.
Yeah, Coach Doug's is great, no doubt. That's awesome content. But no, while that is more focused on the adventure itself, Coach Doug's has switched schools a couple times. He's coached at USC. He's coached at Texas Tech. Now he's coaching at Tennessee. This was more just to see what these Bills are and kind of just hypothetically see through the simulation of a season and some of the roster decisions.
Is Coach Doug's giving out $25 gift cards?
No, but he's giving out 50 burgers.
Ooh. We're going to have to work up to those.
Yeah, we got to step our dietary game. What's up, Jason Twell? He's in the building.
Jason Twell, Coat Socks. DG gave me the heads up that your order went out today, so look for that in the next few days. Are we going to get an actual early first quarter touchdown here? They're moving for it.
Well, it looks like they got woken up by that first Carolina drive. Typically, we don't see much scoring early, but Dawson Knox has the Bills inside the Code's red zone as he goes over 1,000 yards on the season.
Zach, nobody is more disheartened and furious about these slow Bill starts than Andrea in the booth here, taking down names, wanting that touchdown to come as quickly as possible so she can get off the clock.
No doubt about it. This Bills team has kept Andrea in the loop for sometimes into the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter even. Folks, make sure you're getting those comments in right now. It might be too late soon. Make sure you're commenting who you think is going to score that first Bills touchdown. They are inside the 15-yard line, and we could be giving somebody $25 to their favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming and Trainwreck Sports. You just got to comment the player's name.
This is Beasley territory.
No doubt. Allen play action going out right. It is caught. Still 4-4, perfect on the day. 3rd and 1, we're going with the Drew formation.
You're not
They're
gonna,
stacking up the middle. I wouldn't be surprised to see play action.
you're not gonna see Coach Kelly drawing up any 2-yard passing routes. Is that my boy?
Edwards to the house, touchdown, Buffalo.
That's your boy.
The Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your
I think Goldman's the emergency running back. Got Logan and Edwards doing most of the heavy lifting.
stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah.
George Edwards is our touchdown scorer.
Come on, come
No
on.
one had
All right, we need a random comment chosen for our T-shirt winner.
Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move.
this one. Mark McGuire.
Mark McGuire's watching.
Dawson Knox for first TD. That's the one that swept up and down, landed on one in mid-spin. Mark McGuire wins.
Hopefully he's laying off the juice because we don't have any quadruple extra large T-shirts for Mark McGuire.
Seriously, Mark McGuire just hit a home run with a big win there.
There we go. Fantastic job, everybody.
Mark McGuire, you are our T-shirt winner. Send a message to Gratwick Productions on Facebook or tag us in a tweet on Twitter if that's your preferred platform, and we're going to get out there and we're going to get you a shirt, even if we have to stretch it to fit you.
So, folks, you know how that works with. So we still got the shout song going.
Oh,
Carolina
no,
going
the shout
over.
song's over. I just forgot to turn the flag off.
Hey, fly that flag. But you know what? You got to get back up on that screen, Chris. First touchdown Bills bonus. We obviously got to run it back. If the giveaway doesn't go to someone, we keep running. So make sure, folks, it's a clean slate. I mean, my apologies to Andrea. I know she's working hard. But with that touchdown, oh my gosh, we're going the other way.
Here comes the Bills touchdown!
Keeping the same name.
Touchdown, Buffalo!
Who?
Jordan Poyer. Who had Jordan Poyer?
No one had Poyer. Alright, so that's 2 times. We're keeping the same names, everybody. Keeping the same names.
Okay,
But
we're
they're
keeping the same name.
remind everyone who is not playing right now, because I believe Eric Denecki thinks Moss is playing, so he can have a new choice if he wants. Otherwise, you're keeping the same names, people. Don't get crazy and feisty.
Hey, it comes crazy for that first touchdown.
Big time.
Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo.
This feels like an extra long Bills shout song. It's almost like the first one never stopped.
Seriously, this shout song never stops. But it does now. Jordan Poyer with the scoop and score puts the Bills up 14-7. And folks, we still got a $25 gift card to give away. Nobody had Edward. Nobody had Poyer. Everyone is still up for grabs. If you already guessed, it's locked in, so don't worry about resubmitting. But anyone who hasn't guessed yet, get those comments in. It could be Trey White. It could be Ed Oliver. It could be John Brown. It could be Stephon Diggs. It could be Josh Allen. Get those comments in. Still $25 up for grabs. And we've already seen 2 Bills touchdowns, Chris.
I'm sticking with Goldman. Goldman Jr. is going to come through for me.
Clifford, Nick Pond, it was Edwards that scored the first touchdown for the Bills.
Mr. Rogue One.
Rogue One run into the end zone. Shout out Robert Williams, Jason Twell, Matthew Manzella, Benjamin
got a pick.
Toole. We got a pick.
Teron
Johnson picking it up along the sideline.
Teron says, "Remember me when re-signs come. I want a new contract, Johnson."
I'll tell you what, things have really gone sideways quick for these Panthers after starting off to a 7-0 lead in the first 4 minutes. Now down by 7 with the Bills already inside the 35.
See, I think the way the last couple minutes have gone since the Panthers scored a touchdown, you just got to kind of write that off as a fluke big play by McCaffrey. Those are going to happen from time to time.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. People locking in their guesses again. 1st and 10 for the Bills.
Woo! Slipped that one
Speaking
by.
of that, wow, that was awesome. Cole Beasley showing that shiftiness that makes him such an appealing player. He gets the Bills inside the Code Sox red zone.
I don't think 98 throw power gets that one in there.
Yeah, Josh Allen's arm strength's incredible. That Schwartz
Uh-oh.
slip. Oh, should have handed that one to Schwartz. Unfortunately, Josh Allen goes down after Short brings him down for a sack.
Don't forget, reshare the stream, tag a friend, and you're automatically entered in the third quarter Code Sox drives.
Shout out Charles Weimer, Matt Heiner, Eric Danicki locking in his pick again.
Man,
How about Jeffrey Probst?
I thought we were about to get a Charlotte's Web shout out there.
That would have been legit.
Mark McGuire and Charlotte's Web, both on a Sunday night.
Biggest stream ever. Bills need the 9-yard line for first. Oh my gosh, that could have been a pick six. Bills need the 10-yard line, for a first down. Allen in the lone set shotgun is going deep over to the left side.
Oh.
Jump ball intercepted.
Sit there and think about that one for a minute. That's all the same.
Well, the teams trade turnovers. Bridgewater interception followed by an Allen interception. And Carolina will take over after the touchback.
Zach, I want to give a big shout out to the audience. We've got 43 shares on the Trainwreck stream.
Let's go. Keep sharing it, folks. Keep sharing that stream. We want more people to see it. We don't got Coach Doug's, but we got this defense making plays. We got a 14-7 lead, and we still got $25 to give away for this first Bills touchdown. So let's get into it, folks.
Zach, you know what we should think about doing once or twice during the season? Is doing like a carryover stretch. So if it's not hit the first night, it carries over to the next night and keeps carrying over until it's hit.
Oh, yeah, like kind of like a bad beat jackpot for sure. We should make it for like a Josh Allen like rushing touchdown since they're kind of rare.
Oh, that could be a good one too.
Like we get one of those every like 2 to 4 games basically. Kind of like a blue moon. 3rd and 8 for Teddy BH2O.
Shut down.
Did you know that's his Twitter handle? At Teddy BH2O.
It's not
One of
bad.
the better ones out there. Teddy Bridgewater, who had a crazy injury with the Vikings. It was kind of like Alex Smith had the one about 2.5 years ago now. It was basically...
I mean, you got to ask yourself, Zach, is there anything else that goes better than bridges and water? I mean, they're kind of hand in hand.
Oh, that's definitely.
You don't need a bridge if you don't have water.
Teddy is hoping that Carolina is hoping that Teddy can be a bridge over water this season. No doubt for them. 3:15 to go. Play action by Allen. He's got a very clean pocket, whizzing it out right. Is that hauled in?
Brown up top.
Looks like it. Smoke Brown announcing his presence with a nice 20-yard chunk.
It's another one looking for a new contract. There's a lot of big names up for the expiring contracts this offseason. It's 4:20 out here on the West Coast. Smoke them if you got them.
Hey, it's 4:20 somewhere. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. 2:30 to go. Allen with a great pocket, tons of time. Throws it out right. Does he have a man? Was he in bounds?
I think that guy was somebody on the sideline.
Yeah, it's like when you pass to the wrong teammate and pick up basketball. Happens to me more often than not. 3rd and 7 for these Bills. They need the inside the 45-yard line of Carolina for a first down.
Getting a little tired of these swing passes.
Can we make a man miss? Cannot.
Is that 3 straight swing passes?
I believe so. They're getting attached to it.
All right, chat.
Getting that RB PPR up.
I want to know how everybody's out there spending their Memorial Day weekends. Anything? Are you guys switching up your routines because of the quarantine? Is this your first time out, getting back together with a group of people? What's your holiday weekend look like? For me, like, days have lost track of meaning. So if weekdays don't matter, how are holidays supposed to matter?
And all of his briefings has always been like, this is Saturday. It's almost like you got to remind yourself that stuff's going on.
Yeah, I took a drive just before kickoff, and it was like a shock. People were outside. There's backyard parties going on. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a holiday weekend.
It is. It's a slight return to normalcy, no doubt.
Robbie Wakefield says Cole Beasley definitely going to get a touchdown here.
Hey, well, we still have the first touchdown bonus up for grabs. $25 to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming. If you can guess the player to score the first Bills touchdown, just comment it in the chat.
Paul Burden says, just another Sunday in Canada, and suddenly all I can smell is maple syrup.
Jason T, at this point, it's just one long, giant Monday. Couldn't agree more. At the end of this first quarter, Bills up 14-7 with the Panthers driving.
Did they ever say what day of the week it was in Groundhog's Day? I know it was Groundhog Day, but do we know what day of the week it was?
We gotta put our intern on that.
Is our intern's name Alexa?
Yes, or Googly.
I mean, we could probably just say it right into the stream, and somebody's Alexa's going to respond. Alexa, what day did the Bill Murray Groundhog Day take place on? Comment in the chat if your Alexa gave us the answer. Fourth and inches, another punt. I just don't like this whole game is built around dice rolls, Zach. How do they not put like a small percentage of dice rolls on fourth downs that make the CPU go for it? Like in fourth and inches.
I mean, they will in the future. I mean, really, in the last 2 years, to be honest, it's evolved entirely. I know that other coaches have done it before. You know, you could argue Belichick like went for it on fourth down. I think it was like 2010 or so originally when he went that one against the Colts, but like really the going for it on fourth down has majorly evolved over the last 2 years to where teams are almost automatically going for it. He did. What a catch by Diggs.
The movie was released in 93, so it was supposed to be present day, so that's when it would have been. On February 2nd, 93.
Andrea has a potential guess that it was Tuesday, February 2nd, 1993. So even
Because
if
the movie
she's
was
off by a
released.
year, it would be a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday with the odds on that it was a Tuesday. Nothing like getting
Yes.
stuck on a work day for a loop.
It was supposed to be modern day, so it would have been the same year. So,
Yeah, not ideal.
a Tuesday.
Like, give me a Saturday that I'm stuck on forever.
Seriously, no, that would be awesome.
Mm.
Give me a Bills home opener.
Paul Burden has quite a comeback.
Maple syrup is like Labatt's Blue in Canada. No one likes it.
How I Met Your Mother didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm still not on board with this whole Buffalo's over Labatt's Blue wagon. Like, every time I
I'm
go
literally
back,
drinking Labatt Blue right now.
that's the only thing I drink when I go back. But so many of my buddies and all of that back there, they're like, nah, the Blue wagon's over.
I mean, I guess I must have missed the memo.
Where's everybody else fall on Blue? Is it still your go-to, or or are you guys just all taking it for granted now? Because it's hard to come by around here unless I go to the Bills bar in Santa Monica.
Get there early.
I don't take it for granted because, yeah, I've been to, like, when we went to Nashville, we went to Houston, definitely in limited supplies, so you can't just walk in anywhere and order a Blue Light. And I get people are like, well, if you're here, order this and everything, but it's nice to just know what you're ordering when you walk in anywhere.
Is that Cole? It's getting that red zone work. 4 wide receivers out there. That's good news for Cole fans.
Folks, get these comments in. Bills are just short of the 15-yard line. Allen rolling left. He gets sacked. Gosh darn it.
Zach, so I read one of your tweets the other day that, right or wrong, your hypothesis is that there's fans back in the stands by October 1st. If that proves correct, will you be in Vegas?
If they're allowing fans, yes, I'll be in Vegas, 100%. If they're allowing fans.
Fudge Nugget says he hasn't drank a blue in 10 years.
That's fair, Fudge Nuggets. I mean, I don't hate it. There's people who, haven't eaten at Mighty Taco in like 10 years. I mean, everyone has all kinds of differences in Buffalo, for sure.
You guys were talking about this the other day, and I wanted to chime in so bad. You guys are all over the Mighty Taco wagon now, too? Like, my mom literally picks me up at the airport with a Mighty Pack still to this day, as soon as the plane touches down. I mean, they've jacked those prices up ridiculously so, but other than that...
Yeah, if you're from out of town, the Buffalo Mighty is a must-have. I'd say if you're from around here, I can see why you wouldn't have it for a little while, or why you might wean off of it a little bit.
I agree that Jim's Stakeout has long jumped the shark. The second they started spreading out to franchises all over the city is when the quality dropped off a cliff.
Yep, it was like everything was a solid 9 in the past, and then they kind of lowered it. Now it's like a high 7, I'd say.
If you're drunk enough.
Still good. I mean, yep. Still, if you're hammered, yeah, exactly. It's all about timing.
You barbecuing it all tomorrow, Zach?
That's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to go somewhere. My neighbor is barbecuing and invited me over, but it's like, so that's the dilemma is the neighbor invited me over, but I don't really like the neighbor. Now, hopefully he's not watching the stream. But like, so I don't want to go, even though it's the most convenient option by far to just go like right next door. I don't really want to do that.
What's our generic neighbor description?
I mean, I don't know if he could really be any more generic, honestly. Bald, glasses, super friendly when it comes to neighborly topics. Overly chummy, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. Is this going to be a group barbecue or one-on-one?
No, I think it would be like there's he's got like 6 people in the house and then a couple of friends and everything. But I would say, if for anyone who's seen the show, I'd say without the technological stuff, he's got Mr. Dink vibes from Doug. Oh, hello, Douglas.
This guy sounds like he's probably a close talker, too.
He's the big-time close talker. I don't really get too close to me. I always stay. That's why I stay on the porch. It's like a position of power. For him to really come over, it would take a lot of effort. Plus, I have a fence, so you'd have to penetrate the outer gate.
Oh, so is this like that strictly surface level neighborly relationship where you guys don't really ever meet other than porch to porch and a couple nods and hey, yeah, we should get together sometime and then just keep it moving?
Well, sometimes he's in his driveway and I'm in my yard, yeah. But I like to stay on my home field. He's never tried to lure me out, but if he did, I would probably be forced to go just out of manners.
Speaking of home field, they wrapped this one up. That's in the books, and they can start resting guys for the next 2 weeks.
3rd and 11, Bridgewater throws that one in the dirt.
The running back room pretty much decided to go on vacation until the playoffs.
Yep, they're taking their time. They're enjoying Mickey Rats until the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, you kind of called it. That Panther offense, when the going got tough, they really got going.
Well, I think they're in more trouble now because they're going to give up on the run being down 2 scores, and McCaffrey's pretty much their entire offense.
And they are going to boot that one through the end zone. Bills will take over after the touchback.
We'll get that overlay off screen there real quick. We get some season stats on Diggs. 48, 780.
Yeah.
The 2 touchdowns is really the disappointment.
Are the 3 receivers still all over like 600 yards? Are they all making runs at potentially 1,000 if they finish strong?
The passing attack has been actually really spread out. Allen's still the front runner for
that's
MVP.
The last thing you want, Chris. Edwards just goes down grabbing at his wrist.
Another
Looks like
running
he's gonna
back.
be leaving the field.
Zach, they're going to be calling us up here to jump in to finish this season out.
To be honest, we might have to create like a Reggie Bush. We might have to create a free agent who the Bills can call up off the street. Where is Fred Jackson? Allen running right, 30, slides at the 33, first down, Buffalo. Very nice play by JA17 as they pick it up.
All right, Zach, as this drive progresses here, I'm going to give you the passing distribution for the season so far. Ooh, that was a nice little move inside. Oh, you know what the Rogue One injury means?
Tell me.
Gallman Jr. is going to get some burn.
Yep, it's time to see what all the gall is about.
All right, so...
1 rush for -2 yards, not the best. But guess what? The Storm is back. Buffalo Storm Chaser back in the chat. Love to see it.
There he is. So the leading receiver by far and away, and actually one of the top receivers in the league, is Dawson Knox with 75 receptions, just over 1,000 yards at 1,009, and 7 touchdowns. But he also leads the team with 10 drops on the season. Kind of fitting.
That kind of matches what he did last year, too. He had a little problem with the dropsies, if I recall. A little issue with the dropsy pose.
Nice catch by Brown there. All right, Zach, let's test your knowledge here.
I'll tell you what, though. Oh, no, here we go. Let's go. Unleash it.
Who do you think is the second leading receiver on the Bills based on yardage?
In this stream, right?
Yes, in this 2021 season.
This is going to sound crazy. Schwartz.
No.
Okay, I blew it. My next guess would be John Brown.
Diggs.
Diggs. So see, that's the thing. It's those touchdowns that are the reason he feels like he's not doing as much, right?
Yep. So he's second on the team with the 721 that was just put up on screen a few minutes ago. The second on the team in receptions, however, is Schwartz. I didn't see that coming. He was the 4th receiver for like 12 weeks of the season.
And that led to my guess, Chris, is that even though he doesn't have the yards, it just feels like there have been games where Diggs has gone away, where we haven't seen Brown, and obviously Beasley's been out, whereas I really feel like Schwartz has not missed a beat. And it's like you said, the expectations are obviously lower for a fourth wide receiver, obviously, but he has filled in very nicely. I mean, that move seems prototypical McBean. I mean, with the production they've seen from Schwartz, no offense, but it makes, a guy like Beasley kind of expendable.
He had 19 catches over 2 games while Beasley was out.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Then 4th in yards is John Brown with 533 on 44 catches, but he does have 4 touchdowns. Then Cole is 5th in both receptions and yards with 31 receptions, 296 yards. No drops on the season, though. And then we got a bunch of also rans and running backs that had a catch here, catch there. Oh, Knox open.
Throws it over the middle. Knox looking for that end zone. Folks, get those comments in. Who do you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown? We're still looking to give away our $25 gift card, courtesy of Trainwreck Sports and Gratwick Gaming.
How many sacks do you think Epinesa has on the season?
Let's see. What did he have last year? 14?
He finished last season with 12.
12. Finished last season with 12. I think he's having a little bit worse of a season, but I do recall if he had a game or two with 2. I'm going to say he has 6.5 right now.
He's got 13.
Oh! I must have missed something in that one half against the Jets. He must have been on fire.
Who do you think has the second highest number of sacks on the team?
Levi Wallace.
Excellent guess. Levi Wallace, 7.
See, now that is watching this stream. I mean, you just know that the DBs have been in a lot. Trey White has not been the same. I think if it was last year, I would have guessed Josh Norman. But this year, it's definitely been Levi Wallace.
Let me see. White has 3 sacks. I think he got 2 in one game. Oh, Pug almost took it in.
Yeah, that was my DeMarco look, Pug. 4-yard gain on first and goal at the 5. How do you stop a fullback with that much downhill speed? I don't know.
Who has more interceptions? Hyde or White? Touchdown!
I gotta say White.
Is that my boy?
That's like a trick question.
Turn around, buddy. I'm pretty sure that's you. Does that say Gallman Jr. on the back? It certainly does.
Wayne G. Oh, don't tell me. I'm already looking through the chat right now.
Who is it?
Wayne Gallman Jr.
No one had
I got a bad feeling about this, Chris.
I told folks to get on the Wayne Gallman train. I told them.
The Gall train.
No, do we have anybody? Nobody followed the Wayne Gallman train?
it. Oh,
Nobody was on the Gall train.
What do we do here, Zach?
is this a rollover?
I
to
mean, I think
tomorrow night?
we only have one option.
Roll
Gotta
it
keep rolling
over.
it over.
Roll
Gotta
it
keep rolling
over.
it over.
So tomorrow night, someone gets a $50 gift card.
Nope. It's still on the board for tonight. If-
Oh, we're live. Keep that list. Don't let that list go anywhere, Andrea. Don't eat it. Don't burn it. Don't throw it in the trash.
It's still going
Don't
for
recycle
tonight.
it. It's still going.
All
This
right,
list never
everybody.
stops.
Game on.
I think we got to start the list over though, because folks just don't remember Gallman, and people need a shot at guessing him.
I'm down to restart it. It's the truck's call.
Let's ask the audience.
Restart.
Should we-
Restart.
Audience, here's the deal. There's 2 options. We can restart the guessing for the first touchdown.
You better solve it
or
quick
we
because
can
we got a
keep
pick.
guessing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought that was a pick.
Hell no, that wasn't a pick. I would have been going nuts. If you want to keep it going, comment number 1. If you want to resubmit answers, comment number 2. First 1 to 4 wins.
Get your race in there.
Yep. 1 is we keep the guesses that we've had and just keep rolling. 2 is we resubmit the guesses. Oh, we're already seeing 3 people. If you're commenting restart, you want to comment number 2.
Oh, they want to crack at
All
Gallman.
right.
They want to
They
crack
want
at
fresh
Gallman.
with guesses.
Here comes 50 Gallmans.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, folks. I think we're locking it in. We're locking this in. Shout out to everyone tuning in. Shout out to everyone watching the stream. The first Bills touchdown is still up for grabs. We had Edwards score the first one, Poyer score the second one, and Wayne Gallman Jr. score the third one. Edwards is injured right now. Do not comment Edwards because you'll basically be wasting your guess. As you see on the side, Singletary, Moss are injured as well. Comment who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown. Everything is open. Nobody has a submitted guess yet. Go, go, go. Comment for your chance to win.
Don't sleep on Gallman, but then remember, everyone else is probably going to go on Gallman too. So there's some strategy here, Zach, going into the. Plus, there's a big lead now.
You must know Wayne Gallman's agent or something because you are just all over this Gallman train. Folks, get the comments in. Who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown? As of now, we've already had 3 Bills touchdowns, but nobody circles the wagons, and nobody commented who it was. It wasn't Poyer, it wasn't Edwards, and it wasn't Gallman. So make sure you're commenting who you think it's going to be. You can relock in your guess, but only the new submissions are going to count. We only have about 6 or 7 so far, and it looks like the Bills are already driving, or are we at halftime?
I don't think we're at halftime.
I thought we were at halftime.
We might have talked our way into half. No. They're still going here. Well, yeah, they just got the ball. It was just change of possession on a punt.
Okay, they threw me. They're showing bombs to Diggs,
Yeah.
Brown curl routes. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Folks, get these comments in. Who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown? I mean, it's a free shot at $25. You'd be silly not to comment.
Paul Burton's probably got to be eyeballing Trey Pug. He likes them dark horses. Plus, there's going to be a lot of runs in the second half with this big lead.
I'm sorry, you cut that at the end. I think I heard your question.
Oh, no, I was just, my guess was that Paul Burton was going to be eyeballing Trey Pug for a guess.
I mean, Pug is great value. You've already seen he's gotten red zone touches in the last drive. Clearly, they want to get Pug the ball. McDermott talked a lot about it. You know, he said when Pug gets the ball in his hands, he's just very dependable.
The Bills have 10 different touchdown scorers on offense, and 5 different Bills have scored a touchdown on defense. Dale Diaz. Edwards was hurt on about 2 series ago. He hasn't come back in as of yet.
He can repick.
Yeah, you can repick on that one if you want. Unless you want to stick with it and you think he's going to come out in the second half wearing a boot and throw some late game heroics in.
I like J.R. Bray. Gotta go with Josh's favorite target in Madden Sim, Fawson Knox. I don't even know if Fawson was on purpose because it is right next to the D, but I just love Fawson Knox. I don't know why.
Kind of made me think of Folsom, like the prison.
17 yards. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Or sorry, 17 seconds. I'm sorry.
Hurricane.
Right? Did we get out of bounds? We did. 12 seconds. Okay, so we still have a shot if we want to take a deep ball here. Might be a good time to get those Diggs, Schwartz, Isaiah McKenzie guesses in.
Or a swing pass for 3 yards to waste the rest of the clock.
That's not going to do it.
You know who else is probably...
I formation. This would never happen. This is what makes the sim so electric and great.
Oh, he's going to break it, though!
Oh my God, it was almost through. There was literally 2 guys that shot at him.
Gallman's ready to explode in the second half. He's ready.
Seriously, folks, we have a brief halftime break. Go fill up those drinks. Go get another beer. Go get some more snacks. Go check in with your family. Let them know you're still alive and well. But the Bills lead at half, 24-7. A dominant performance. Get those comments in. Who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown? Coming up, you could win a $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming and Trainwreck Sports. Besides that, myself, Chris, and Andrea will be back in just about 30 seconds following this halftime update.
You guys are also running out of time to share the stream and get in on the third quarter sock drive. The sock drive will be the first drive of the third quarter. You'll have to the end of the drive to share the stream. Make sure you're tagging a friend, and give Code Socks a tag too for hooking us up and getting these autographed socks out to you guys. And if anyone's looking for a halftime tip on somebody to guess for the touchdown runs, Paul Burton this is another one that Paul Burton probably is on top of. Not going to like me giving out there. TJ Logan has yet to score a touchdown, but he's going to get probably 10 to 15 touches here in the second half.
Paul does not appreciate you telling his secrets. How rude.
I gotta give Paul props though.
You getting in trouble over there?
Andrea's sticking up for Paul. I gotta give him his props though. He's on the Daddy Leagues page. He's digging into the roster. He knows the depth charts. He knew the punters and the fullbacks more than our host did for the last couple weeks.
Fair, absolutely fair. And there's no reason not to check it out. I mean, let's face it. Even if the NFL comes back this year, and we love the NFL, and it looks like it is going to, quote-unquote, come back. It actually never left as far as the NFL season goes. But it's May, Chris. We still have May, June, July, August. You're going to have August training camp. I mean, even during training camp, it'll be fun to tool around with the guys that are on the roster then and adding them and seeing what's going on. And by then, we might even be playing on a new game.
Oh, absolutely. I heard Madden 21's coming out the last week of July this year.
Well, they would be silly not to fast track it this year. Every video game, if you're working on a video game right now and you're not working to get it out even a week or anything like that before the typical gold date, you're just silly. Allen tries to run up the middle. Oh my gosh, just bulldozes through that line and he ends up with a first down, Chris.
Oh
my God, what? Are you kidding me with that spot?
I knew it. When he didn't fall forward. They were going to force the 4th and inches.
He leaned all the way forward though. So unfair. So unfair. Why do the worst things happen to the best people?
Oh, I'm knocking on wood there. We're heading into home field advantage here. We don't need to jinx anybody. They don't want to make it worse.
True. And you don't want anyone injured. That's the most important thing.
If the Bills hold on to win here, which it looks like they will, we might be getting some Fromm action on Monday and Tuesday.
Wow. Jake Fromm, State Fromm.
We're gonna get Fromm, Logan, Gallman. Those will pull in the big ratings.
Oh yeah, Fromm and Gallman, your classic Buffalo Bills.
What are you looking at for a second half line here?
So live line right now has to be probably Bills minus 15, 16 and a half. Obviously, you don't want to give back too many points on it. But it'll be very interesting to see.
It's the only play they got is give it to McCaffrey.
Yep, get it to Christian. 3rd and 4 at the 26-yard line. They need a 30 to pick up this first down. And they will.
So I'm checking out Allen's stats here on the season, and it gives you their fantasy points for the season so far as well, which is what we're going to be using when we do the fantasy league. So Allen has 338 going into this game, completions in 431 attempts for a 78% completion percentage, 3,831 yards, 21 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, and a 110 rating.
Oh my God, Bridgewater just got killed.
Woo!
Jackson just destroyed him, and they give you a replay on this, Chris. If you were looking at the stat sheet, and I know you might have been because you were just killing us with all those numbers. Look at this. Look at just a straight shot coming from the outside.
Boom. Get him.
Just ran through him like a bulldozer.
This is just bad scouting, if you ask me, at this point in the season, that these teams aren't coming in prepared for these secondary blitzes. The Bills have been getting away with it from week one.
It does seem, honestly, like it's something that the CPU is not prepared for at all. Every time.
So putting a cap on the Allen stats, the 3,800 yards and 21 touchdowns so far is good for 218 fantasy points. And that doesn't include his rushing stats as well, which is another 77 fantasy points. You guys can't see it, but Andrea's over here really pleading for that Bills touchdown.
I mean, she wants to be able to put that list away. My goodness. Uncle Jesse, have mercy. Let's get a Bills touchdown from somebody. Sheesh, Beasley, somebody step it up.
How many Gallmans did we get? Oh, get him! Get him!
Water is swallowed up again. AJ Epinesa, the phenomenal AJ Epinesa. Is that his 14th on the season, Chris?
That is his 14th, unless we missed one earlier in this one.
If AJ Epinesa has 26 sacks in his first 2 seasons as a Bills fans are going to be in love. That was the talk from our Iowa insider, that he has first round talent. Just slipped out. Bad 40 time? I don't care about a bad 40 time.
Yeah, I mean, what's he supposed to be going? About 10 yards? Another corner
Oh
blitz.
my God. This is brutal. Honestly, someone's got to throw the damn towel. So wait, 2 on the day for Levi. Does that give him 9 then?
That would give him 9. He's showing
goodness.
Jackson the way to the quarterback.
9 sacks for a DB. Can you imagine double-digit sacks for a DB?
They were bringing Samuel on that play too. They brought the house. I mean, if there's one thing I'd love to see out of the defense this year, I would love to see it be a lot more aggressive, and I hope it can afford to be, because that we'll have an offense that isn't nursing a one score game constantly. So when you get a little more space and you have confidence in your offense that it can cover that gap, you could take a little more risk with your defense, especially when it's that talented. I mean, Tre'Davious White's entering his prime right now. You got to treat him almost like Revis Island and start dialing up all sorts of exotic blitzes when you know you can just take one side of the field away with him over there.
And somehow, about 2 quarters later, McCaffrey only has 11 carries. Kind of questionable.
They got pushed out of that run game quick. The Bills were up 10 points on them in the blink of an eye after the Panthers scored first, and from then on, it's just been the Kill Bridgewater show.
Seriously, Bridgewater has been. It's been like Kill Bill, but Kill Bridgewater.
What's the most memorable bridge collapse that comes to mind? Is there any? Is there a memorable?
I don't know. I don't have a memorable bridge collapse, but I do feel like I remember like a bridge like shaking.
Oh, they always have the San Francisco Bridge shaking movies. Give it the big ripple.
Yeah.
The London Bridge fell down.
Yeah.
There's a song about it.
Andrea is chomping at the bit over here.
She did kind of make us sound like huge idiots, to be honest.
Like, we know the song. You
Like
know
even if she was gonna be like nice and support us like in the best way, there was really no way to bring that up without making us sound like the biggest friggin' doofuses in the building.
Let's see if anyone
Yeah, there's kind of a whole song built around the London Bridge falling down. But what other famous bridge scene? You know what bridge scene that Bridgewater is reminding me of right now? Dark Knight Rises, when they blow him up. No leaving Gotham due to Bane.
There you go. There's a good bridge fall.
McDermott is Bane right now.
I'd like to see a turnover on this drive. It feels like it should end in one. Some sacks, some penalties. They kind of been bumbling down the field.
Oh man, that should have been a pick. What are your favorite cinematic scenes involving the Golden Gate Bridge? I'm thinking about mine right now.
Was there one in Deep Impact?
Of course, there's the all-time cinematic scene involving the Golden Gate Bridge.
The Full House?
opening of the Full House.
The Full House opener,
Yeah.
of course.
Whatever happened to predictability?
I don't know if
No,
this.
that's Family Matters. That's Family Matters.
I don't know if
That
I don't know if this counts as a Golden Gate Bridge scene, but I know that it was in the background of some short circuit shots. Is short circuit before your time?
Short circuit might have been a little bit before my time. 24/7, the Carolina Panthers are going to kick a field goal to make it a 2-score game. Conklin is up, and it's good. The other Golden Gate Bridge scene I was thinking of, I think there's one in the Planet of the Apes movie when they finally like revolt.
All running across. I think so.
In the new one, yeah, it's the new one, not the Mark Wahlberg version where they're like literally out in space, but the one where James Franco is like raising an ape that's really smart.
If you want some good '80s throwback train, give yourself a watch of Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2.
Johnny Five.
If you look back at like movies in the 80s or 90s, when something happened in like a scene, like there was just no questioning like the fallout or like the repercussions of everything else. It was just happening in that movie.
Yeah. Now they get all
Whereas
upset about
now,
the deaths.
everything is under a microscope. There has to be like, well, what about this? Like when something happened in a movie, there didn't need to be an explanation.
Oh, somebody was making fun of millennials on Twitter the other day because I guess there's a whole thread about millennials that just found out that Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in Tropic Thunder, and none of them cared enough to watch the movie and understand the commentary that it was on the stupidity of it and that. So they all just are outraged about it without watching it. So people just keep putting the different tweets into this thread and making fun of them.
I was just talking with my one friend about pop culture stuff that's happened since like 2000. I mean, there's so much stuff that just would not be. Not that it's not acceptable. It's just like it's just not safe. It's just not a safe environment to put it out there because there's so much risk in getting pushback or recoil or stuff like that from bad PR.
Would the Farrelly brothers even exist in the modern age?
Oh, no chance. I mean, I was talking to my old roommate. We were talking about The Office Diversity Day, one of the most hilarious episodes in the entire series. No chance that would be allowed on a TV nowadays.
It's a sad state when we're getting more restrictive on what you can say versus less. Like, I mean, I don't know. Words only have the power you give them, and as soon as you start taking away words, you start giving them a whole lot more power.
Like Voldemort.
Seriously, I'm all about he who must not be named.
Mm-hmm. Chris has never seen
I don't
one
do the Potter references.
or read a book of it.
Not a syllable.
I kind of felt bad for Voldemort, honestly.
Mm,
Well, no, I take that back. I felt more bad for Draco Malfoy.
yeah.
I feel like if Draco and Harry Potter just switched spots, like Harry Potter would be acting exactly like Draco was acting.
Yeah, but I don't think Draco would have acted how Harry did. I don't think he had it in his
True.
personality to be as good.
Zach, we never officially announced it, so we're going to make this drive the third quarter Code Sox drive.
Folks, get sharing the stream, get following @codes_socks on Twitter, Instagram, @CodeSocks, one word on Facebook to enter. Sharing the stream, it only helps your chances, folks. It's one click and it's one comment to double your chances. You might as well do it. But my point on why I feel bad for Voldemort is this guy was working his whole existence was to get back and just crush Harry Potter and prove what a powerful wizard he was, yada yada yada. And yes, he was tyrannical about it, but he gets back. He's killed Harry Potter and he's back at the Battle of Hogwarts. And of all people, this dude Neville just gives a speech and
Yes.
cocks him big time, and all of a sudden Harry is back to life. Like what a terrible sequence of events for Voldemort supporters.
But I love that Neville got the chance. Aww.
Oh, Neville, and I don't want to spoil it, even though it's about 10 years old now. What Neville does after that, obviously a huge moment for our guy Neville.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we
Yeah,
haven't
it has come
discussed
up
here
in
with
since
this,
the
Zach,
first one.
that I just kind of noticed with that play there? The heavy aggression of blitzing these corners, and sometimes they're blitzing two corners at a time, has also had a tremendous help in stopping the run, because they're kind of just catching the running backs in the wash on their blitzes in.
Yeah, half the time they just run into it. I mean, it's crazy to me that the Madden AI isn't a little bit more apt to audibling or adjusting to that kind of thing. Because we see them adjust on offense.
Yeah, there's not enough bad things I can say about the Madden AI. Lazy is about the only word that I just come back to over and over and over and over again. You guys can go back to Harry Potter talk now. I was just commenting on that because the play that I saw.
No, I just had to get my one Voldemort take on there. I don't really have a ton of them because I know a lot of people are more educated about the Harry Potter universe than me. But those are my two big takes. Feel kind of bad for Voldemort at the Battle of Hogwarts, and I feel like Draco kind of got a bad rap. Like when I was growing up, Draco was always portrayed to me as like one of the more like villainous characters or like quote unquote evil guys, but really he's just almost a victim of his circumstance.
True. I mean, nowadays we'd consider him an abused child, and that's why he was being such a bully to everyone else. But
100%, yeah. Yep.
you know, he still didn't have to be a jerk when he was at school and away from his family.
Oh, big time jerk to Potter. Big time jerk.
Big time. Okay, Chris, we'll let you get back into the conversation. We know you have nothing to do with Harry Potter.
I
Miss
mean,
the world of wizardry, man.
I know
It's
the
awesome.
I know.
We're going on a great run. We're going on a great run from 2000 to now, though, as far as entertainment goes.
I know the story arc tropes that they're leaning on
Oh
there.
my goodness, Eddie O just throwing down Teddy B. Someone throw this towel because this is inappropriate. They cannot show this on network TV.
I think I read Zach somewhere that actually Eddie O is a Potterer. Is that what you guys call yourselves, Potterers?
I don't
He's
know.
a big Gryffindor guy, I bet.
Yeah.
Ronald Enex is with me. He says Harry who?
Yeah, I mean the only Harry that I want, making wizardry on the field is Harry Phillips for sure.
Zach, have you ever seen The Last Boy Scout?
No.
If you really want a movie that I know for a fact you'll love,
Does it have wizards?
cue up The Last Boy Scout tonight. It's peak Bruce Willis,
No
Damon
wizards.
Wayans. It's got one of the greatest football kind of underlines and storylines with just a memorable scene in it. You'll love The Last Boy Scout.
So there's no wizards.
Oh, you don't need no wizards with The Last Boy Scout.
So you do need wizards. You don't need no wizards means you do need wizards. Awesome. Wizards.
You know who's a wizard
Yes,
is
you and Ronald Enix are on the same page.
You know who's a wizard is Josh Allen this season. He's again 2 games to go, the leading candidate for MVP. If he doesn't win MVP this season, Zach, it's gonna be because he was such a badass he didn't need to play weeks 16 and 17.
I mean, I'm just in shock at the very idea that in 2021 Josh Allen can be an MVP candidate. If he's an MVP candidate in 2021, with what McDermott does on the defensive side of the ball, with what they bring there is almost no doubt they would be an AFC championship contender. Almost no doubt. When you have an MVP candidate at quarterback and a defense that's in the top 5 to 10, which is a pretty safe bet for McDermott at this point.
You know what else doesn't hurt is when you've got a world-class GM that brings in the looming defensive rookie of the year in Asante Samuel Jr., and Schwartz with another game or two could end up being a late steal. Speaking of steal, there's an interception. Could steal the
Speaking of
offensive
steal.
rookie of the year with a good finish to the season. I think that's pretty much been the difference between last season's Bills that lost to the Broncos and this season that's just been destroying everyone is the additions of Samuel and Schwartz. It's a weak effort on Diggs to kind of knock that ball out. Very weak.
Yeah, Diggs has got to make a better play on that ball, no doubt about it. What about you? Are you guys watching anything now during, as this quarantine is I don't want to say over because people obviously can go outside, but are you guys, obviously, at the beginning, everyone watched Tiger King and things like that. Have you guys watched anything good recently?
I still got another episode or two to finish up on the latest season of Ozarks. I don't know if you're up on the Ozarks. Our boy Chris Collins had a sweet Marty reference today with the footage going around from everybody partying in the Ozarks pools.
Really?
Yeah, there was a Memorial Day video going around from somewhere in the Lake of the Ozarks, and it looked like peak Vegas pool party, just mobbed with hundreds of people. Yeah, Ronald Enix, we wrapped up the AFC East 2 weeks ago with a loss by the Jets, and they're looking to put a button on home field advantage here with this win over the Panthers and a little help from a Browns loss. If not, then we can get the ceremonial job done next week against Miami, i.e. tomorrow night.
It's like, I don't know whether I want to talk about other stuff because the Panthers could score a touchdown and make this a one-score game, but then I kind of remember that the Panthers have scored 3 points in the last 2.5 quarters, and it just doesn't feel like very close.
Bridgewater's got 160 yards passing.
Yeah, not great. I mean, he is going down the field now. They're at the 21. Just wanted to mention, though, we had Chris Collins on about a week and a half ago, and he was talking about some of his content. If you've seen, he does like Bills Mafia videos. He did a Bills Mafia Law and Order, did a Bills Mafia The Office, he did a Bills Mafia Sopranos, and again, all parodies if those shows had a Bills Mafia influence. And he is taking votes right now on a poll on his page on which anyone would like to see a sequel to. So Bills Mafia Sopranos or The Office Buffalo Edition.
Zach, did you vote yet?
I did vote, and I voted for Bills Mafia Sopranos because I feel like those are a little edgier and funnier.
Yeah, that's what I voted for too. But when I voted, I was the 302nd person to vote, and my vote made it exactly 50-50.
Wow. The Office has taken the lead, 52.8%.
Oh.
430 votes as of now, but still 3 hours left. Either way, it'll be great content. But his first video about a truck of blue cheese going missing in Rochester is hysterical.
I think when you get results like that with that kind of test, you're obligated to do both.
Seriously. I mean, yeah, over 200 people want both, so why not?
Ronald Enix, I think they're only on season 3 so far with the Ozarks. Also, don't forget, Zach, I'm not sure if you shared it on Trainwreck Facebook and Twitter yet, but we put out the re-sign report for the pending free agents on this Bills roster so we can get your guys' feedback. Put your GM hat on and tell us who you think we should let walk and who should be re-signed. There's quite a few names on that list. Give me a second here, Zach. I'll run down that re-sign list.
Yeah, give us a breakdown. Meanwhile, breaking down, I mean, I don't know what the Panthers were doing going for that field goal, but apparently they're trying to come back one field goal at a time, and they made it a 24-13 game.
All right. So the biggest free agent name this offseason is Stephon Diggs at 27 years old. Then...
Wait, Diggs is 25 right now? Or
26. 26.
My goodness, we got a guy in his prime, huh?
Oh, yeah. He's
I thought he was 27 or 28 already. No, he's going to be 27 in November. Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
So we've got Diggs. Micah Hyde is going to be a free agent, but we've got Bubba Bolden coming up behind him that was drafted as protection in case he doesn't re-sign. Then we've got Teron Johnson, just made a play here tonight. John Brown.
And I'll tell you something, Bubba Bolden ain't no bed. You shouldn't sleep on him. Guy makes plays every time he's on the field.
John Brown is 31 now, and regression is starting to take hold of the old man. Jerry Hughes is definitely getting up there, heading into 2022. Tyler Croft and Harrison Phillips. All these guys' contracts are expiring. So if you go on any of our pages, we shared a Google form where you can go and click real quick which guys you think should be re-signed and which guys you think we should let walk. And then tomorrow night we'll go over that in a little bit more detail, and we'll start going over kind of what the percentages are and what that looks like for the team if those guys are re-signed or if we let them walk. We're gonna do some future layout of the depth chart, Zach, tomorrow night. You're gonna take the night off. We're gonna probably have home field advantage wrapped up here, letting some of the young kids play, and while they're playing, we're gonna look at the state of the roster and where it's going heading into the next season and beyond.
Love to see it. That's what we're doing in this segment. I mean, we're not bringing in Coach Doug's, but we're bringing in depth. Bills rush it inside the 20-yard line. Love to see that. Here's a little trivia question for the chat. What is Stephon Diggs' middle name? There's one place you can definitely find it.
That RPO almost blew up.
Yeah, it did. It's not a typical middle name. I'll give you that hint. Bill's going with the Drew formation here on 3rd and 2. Gonna throw out of it.
Is that Brown? Schwartz. Nice out route.
Very nice out route by Schwartz. By the way, Mickelson and Brady fall to Woods and Manning in hashtag the match.
So lefty choking versus Brady's clutchness. The immovable rock met the unstoppable force.
To be honest, they had a shot on 14 or something. They had about a 5 to 8 foot putt for Brady to make to get it to within one, and he missed it. So it was brutal.
Oh,
Ronald Enoch chiming in with Stefan Diggs' middle name. Stefan Diggs' middle name is Marshawn.
today I
Alan
learned.
trying to set up the screen. Backs up to the 20.
Probably wouldn't have brought that back infield if it was me.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
There's a reason these guys
guess
were
it's
street
just-
free agents.
Yep, at this time you just want to keep the clock running, I guess, but definitely an odd play.
I wouldn't give the ball to Gallman here unless you want a touchdown. Little hard count, like it.
Third and goal.
Oh!
Schwartz did make that first man miss, but couldn't make the second man miss. A very Schwartz-like game, though. 7 receptions for 72 yards.
Yeah, the guy just chews up catches. I don't know what the Panthers were doing. I mean, they must have had a little foresight here and realized they were going to need to negate this cheap field goal at the end. So what's going to happen with this restaurant giveaway, Zach, if the Bills don't score a touchdown here? Is this bad boy rolling over?
100%. Our next game will be 50, although I will not be here tomorrow. I mean, maybe we could, going forward, we could roll it over to some kind of playoff fun. Because obviously we want to up the, obviously as much as we would love to have a very intense Week 16 where Jake Fromm is starting and Wayne Gallman is our running back, I think a playoff matchup where you had $50, $75 on the line. I mean, I hate to speak for the chat, but I think that would make the most hype, no doubt about it.
All right, well, how about this? How about for this week, Week 16 and Week 17, if the $25 isn't hit, it rolls over into the playoff pool. So this will be the first 25 if they don't score a touchdown here that gets stashed into the playoff pool.
Could you imagine a $100 first touchdown?
That could spark some excitement.
Oh, I could imagine if we were racing for that winner, no less than 15 comments for a winner. Oh, Teddy B, Eddie O, nice to meet ya. Nice to greet ya. Eddie O with his second sack of the day.
This is a stat pattern game for the defense. They're just taking turns
Eddie
getting
O
sacks.
now in his third year. Yep, you're right. They are taking turns. They are passing Teddy B around like he's a joint.
Ronald Enoch asks, do you guys have any ideas about what Josh Allen's stats will be this season? I'll let you go first on that, Zach.
Are we talking in real life or the sim?
I think he's talking in real life.
Okay. Well, first off, I have no idea what they'll be. But second off, I will speculate that he will be a 4,000-yard passer. He'll run a little bit less. He'll end up with 30 passing touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and 3 or 4 fumbles. That's my stat line right there. You lock it in. 4,000 yards, 30 TDs, 11 picks, 7 rushing TDs, and 3 or 4 fumbles. And let's face it, if the Bills' defense is what they're supposed to be, Chris, I think that's more than enough to propel them to the playoffs, if not an AFC East crown.
What do you think his completion percentage will be?
I think he'll continue to improve that. We've been over that before, and I'm just going to pull up these numbers to make sure real quick that we're talking about the real one.
Epinesa just punched him in the mouth.
Yeah, he almost Epi looking to make a play. But in 2018, he was a 53% passer. In 2019, he was 58.8. So I think he'll continue to improve, not at that much. But I think he'll be a 60 to 62 yard completion percentage, or 60 to 62% completion percentage, which is exactly what we need.
All right. I think he's going to be 62% completion percentage, 4,700 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, probably 4 or 5 fumbles, and let's say 475 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. I think he's top 3 MVP candidate this season.
Oh my goodness, you're getting me hyped up beyond belief. I mean, if he does that, he's going to be. I mean, the Bills are definitely getting 11 wins, if not 13.
I like this Ronald guy. Me and this Ronald guy are on the same kind of mindset and wavelength here. I think he went really low on the yards, but other than that, we've got about the same ballpark stats going on.
Yeah. You guys really were very close. 64.8 completion percentage. I love that. Getting to the decimals. No! Can't have an easy ending here, Chris. Can't have an easy ending.
Over's good. Well, actually, I think that ties the over. They need one more score.
Yeah, that's going to push it. It's going to push it. Shout out Salt and Pepper.
The onside kick here, or you kick off?
Oh, they're going to onside kick for sure.
I don't know. I think I kick off. What do they got? They still got all 3 timeouts, and they've got the 2-minute warning. I think you got to kick.
My school of thought on this is always that you go onside kick if it's less than 3 or 3:30 because you need the stop on the first set of downs anyway. So, like, what if they recover it at the 45 and you get a 3 and out? I mean, you should be good on a field goal anyway.
Outside of Madden, talking real NFL for a second, is there any value left in going for an onside kick? It's like a 0% recovery chance anymore if they know it's coming.
Yep, no benefit. I think some team recovered a couple last year. That's why it was so funny. There were so few recovered, but some team recovered 2 in one game. I remember.
Really?
But they've already talked about. They've talked about changing that rule, Chris. Have you seen that? They're going to make it
to
a
the 4th and 15.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. I think football starts getting weird when you allow random plays from a random spot on the field and use that as an outcomer.
You know what it was, Chris? This is what it was. It was last year, the Falcons and the Saints. The Falcons recovered 3 onside kicks in a row. And you're right, they rarely get recovered, which is why it was so ridiculous.
Just last season this happened.
Yeah, just last season. You can check it out. There's a video. This is actually a John Boy video. Let's see. In 2018 or 2019, there have been 79 onside kicks, and the kicking team has recovered 5 of them.
3 of them by the Falcons in one game.
Yeah, in a row. And they didn't win that game, by the way. They were down like 20 points.
Can I have a guest appearance in the locker room of that special teams that allowed 3 onside kick recoveries? Like,
oh my gosh, sounds like that dog was about to bark.
Yeah, Bear's ready to chew some ass out on that.
Seriously. I'm trying to pull that up right now. Let's see. Hold on. Because I want to see how they were acting when they recovered like the third field goal or the third onside kick.
That should do it right there. Is that Gallman putting the button on it? Were they doing anything weird or special on these onside kicks, or were they just like a routine onside kick?
It was they were routine onside kicks. The first one, let's see, I'm watching the first one right now. The first one just got a crazy bounce, and they hit him right when he caught it, so he bobbled it. Second one, slower kick, and they actually got it without him even touching it.
Why are we not kneeling the ball here with the state of our running back room? Oh, we're going to throw too. Even better. The game's over. They could be kneeling it out and it could be done, but instead, hey, they finally figured out they can kneel the ball.
They figured out they can kneel the ball. And folks, we hope you figure out a great way to have a great rest of your Memorial Day Sunday. a big win for these Bills as they continue to roll in this 2021 season. They'll go to 12-2. We posted the resources report using Google Docs. Make sure you check out, put your GM hat on, and get your recommendations in time for tomorrow's show. And just a happy Memorial Day from our whole crew, obviously. We won't be there with you tomorrow morning, but we will be there with you tomorrow night. So we hope you enjoy it. And don't forget, we are looking for a social media person for the league to start helping with graphics and highlights. So if you're interested in that, join the Gratwick Discord server and get your stuff over to us. A huge shout-out to the truck joining us. Chris and Andrea, any shout-outs?
Thanks,
I'm
everyone.
going to shout out the troops and all the veterans out there celebrating Memorial Day. Appreciate the service.
Shout out to everyone in quarantine. Thanks for joining us. We know you have many options.
Quality quarantine entertainment, as our marketing executive likes to call it.
And thank
Quality
you.
quarantine entertainment with quality quarantine people. Shout out to everyone joining us. The Bills defeat the Panthers. I believe it was a final score of 24-17. There you see the stats.
27-20.
McCaffrey not really much. Oh, sorry, 27-20. Yep, they each added a field goal. Basically, McCaffrey not doing much after that big run. The Bills continue to roll. We will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. The Bills will be back at it. Week 16 action. It might be Fromm, it might be Gallman, but it is still your Buffalo Bills. Because Gratwick Gaming, Code Sox, and Trainwreck Sports, these substitutions, these depth players, these crazy scenarios that these Bills get them into the sim, and these giveaways, and this train never